First of all, why Anulom Vilom? The meaning of Anulom is with the grain or towards the nature. And Vilom is against the grain or against the nature. Lom means hair follicle. So, what is the meaning of Anulom Vilom? With the grain and against the grain. And what does it mean? Anulom Vilom Pranayam or alternate nostril breathing is the balancer for Pingala and Ida, or sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. We will see what is Ida and Pingala in a minute. This is our sympathetic nervous system, and the other one is parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic means activating and parasympathetic means relaxing. When we do any activity, our sympathetic nervous system is activated and is functioning on its peak. And when we are relaxing, it is our parasympathetic nervous system, like we are just sleeping or sitting in meditation or not doing any exercises. The right side and the left side. Right side is Pingala Nadi and left side is Ida Nadi. Pingala means sun channel or activating. Ida means moon channel or relaxing. In the ancient system of India, the yogis or the sages would like to either activate or deactivate Pingala or Ida Nadi. In the modern science, there was a study. In that study, each group was asked to practice one out of these three pranayams. Pranayams means the breathing techniques from right nostril breathing, left nostril breathing, or alternate nostril breathing, or Anulom and Vilom. As you know that, and we have discussed before, that we always and only breathe in and breathe out with just one nostril, either right or either wrong, predominantly. We do not breathe out or breathe in with two nostrils simultaneously. These practices were carried out as 27 respiratory cycles, repeated 4 times a day for 1 month. So you first breathe through right nostrils and breathe out through right nostrils for 27 times. Then you breathe in with left nostrils and breathe out with left nostrils for another 27 times. And then alternate breathing means you breathe in with right nostril, breathe out with left nostrils, and then breathe in with left nostril and breathe out with right nostrils. Also for 27 times and repeated 4 times a day for 1 month. And what was the result? The right nostril pranayam group showed a significant increase of 37% in baseline oxygen consumption and has marked activating effects on sympathetic nervous system. The left nostril pranayama group showed an increase of 24% in baseline oxygen consumption. And that was less than the right nostrils, about 13% less activation. The alternate nostril pranayama group showed an 18% increase in baseline oxygen consumption, which was 19% less than the right nostril one and about 6% less than the left nostril ones. Anulom Vilom, so alternate breathing, calms down both sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and it relaxes more. In another study, Anulom Vilom decreases blood pressures. After half an hour session, the upper and lower blood pressures were decreased and the heart rate also decreased. There is another example of Anulom Vilom that is called P300. P300 is a component or cognitive potential is obtained by the recognition of a rare stimulus oddball paradigm within a series of frequent stimuli. What does it mean? It is an event-related potential, ERP, event-related potential waveform that is commonly determined by averaging brain activity in the electroencephalogram. It is a time locked to a specific event, for instance, an auditory stimulus. The ERP is a large positive waveform that reaches its peak amplitude at approximately 300 milliseconds after stimulus presentation, hence it is called P300. We will see what happens with the P300. Its occurrence links not to the physical attributes of stimulus, but to a person's reaction to it. And this was the example of oddball paradigm. The oddball paradigm is an experimental design used within psychology research. And what happens there in that particular experiment? You can see in this diagram, the first of all is half kilohertz frequency of sound, which is called standard sound, and that will be heard. So first bit is standard sound, again second bit is standard sound, but third one is 1 kilohertz, which is a target. So scientists will follow the reaction of the person with the 1 kilohertz sound, which is not standard, but it's a target one. Again, there would be standard sound and standard sound and standard sound. And then there would be a different kind of novel sound like a tone or a sweep or a whistle. And again, there would be a standard sound. Now, presentation of sequences of repetitive stimuli, which is a sound, are infrequently interrupted by a deviant stimulus. So the sound will, from half a kilohertz, so it will go to 1 kilohertz, and then there will be a different sound like tone, sweep, or whistle. And the reaction of the participant to this oddball, this is the oddball event, 1 kilohertz, and tone, sweep, or whistle, also an oddball event. The reaction of the participant to this oddball stimulus is recorded. Healthy subjects versus subjects with mild cognitive impairment, MCI. Now you can see targets means who are given the stimulus. So first of all, healthy controls, but they are non-target. MCI, mild cognitive impairment subjects, but they are not target. Target was not given there. And it means that they did not receive any stimulus like the oddball one. And here, healthy targeted subjects show higher frequency, meaning more attention, etc. So when the stimulus was given, the healthy controls would actually register this peak, which is a P300 waveform. The P300 has been associated with various cognitive processes like attention, working memory, decision-making, and executive function. P300 amplitude is considered to be an index of neurocognitive aging. And after a 40-minute session of Anulom Vilom, Anulom Vilom or alternate nostril breathing positively influences cognitive processes which are required for sustained attention, frontal cortex, and parietal sites. So all these three sites are affected after a 40-minute session of Anulom Vilom Pranayam that increase significantly in the P300 peak amplitudes at these three sites of our brain region. So this is the main scientific benefit of Anulom Vilom, that it increases the P300 waveform and also it calms down both the nervous system, resulting into more calmness, more attention. Now let us practice Anulom Vilom Pranayam. We will only do just the one round. So first of all, before you close your eyes, sit in any meditative posture like Sukhasana, just simply cross-legged, or Padmasana, just lotus posture, or even you can sit on your chair or sofa. Keep your spine upright. Now using the right thumb, close your right nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Now to retain your breath, but before you retain your breath, there is a warning. You can see it at the bottom. Cardiac, blood pressure patients and pregnant women should not hold their breath while doing this pranayam. Just keep inhaling and exhaling. So retain your breath, close the left nostril too with your little and ring fingers. Both nostrils are now closed. Keep the left nostril closed and Open the right nostril and exhale through it, keeping the left nostril still closed. Inhale through the right nostril. Now to retain your breath, close the right nostril too with your little and ring fingers. Both nostrils are now closed. Keep the right nostril closed and open the left nostril and exhale through. So breathe in through right and breathe out through left. And then breathe in through left and breathe out through right. Now close both nostrils and hold your breath in suspension. So when you have exhaled, there would be a void or suspension or shunyak in Sanskrit, where you do not breathe in or breathe out. Again, to start the next cycle, you start from the right nostril and repeat for about maximum of 10 rounds. Try to increase the counts of inhalation and exhalation with regular practice, and try to maintain the ratio of equal counts for inhalation, exhalation, and suspension of the breath while holding the breath for double the duration. So this is how you practice Anulom Vilom. I'm pretty sure that everyone knows how to do Anulom Vilom. And these are the scientific benefits of Anulom Vilom. While breathing in and breathing out, focus your mind on breathing to convert this breathing exercise into meditation, because we know that meditation means to be in the present, whatever we are doing, in here and in now, all the time, and focusing on a singular point, that is the activities we are doing. Meditation, as we know, that has so many benefits we have seen before, from down regulating and up regulating many genes to controlling the release of hormones. It teaches us not to react, but to respond. And all these benefits can be achieved through meditation. Meditation is not a religious practice. It's all about seizing the moment, whatever we are doing. It's all about you. It's all about you to be in here and in now. No past impressions and no future anxieties. Just the present, because you live only in the present. The past is gone, and the future only arrives as the present. We all have 1,440 minutes in a day, and to experience the benefits of meditation, we only need to start with spending 10 minutes a day to tune with ourselves. That can be achieved anywhere and anytime. Now let us practice the meditation. We all know what to do. slowly come out from your meditation. Today in wisdom sharing, I would like to invite everybody to share their thoughts or experience or belief or their wisdom. So anyone can start. Please unmute yourself and share your experience about meditation or about anything you have experienced on this path of spirituality.
Namaste, Vijay.
Namaste.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for this wonderful meditation and then lot of new information regarding this Ida and Pingala way of breathing that you have shared and this new initiative, different one, to share everyone's journey into their own self. So I would also like to ask everyone to utilize this chance to come forward and share. Masters, please come ahead, raise your hand or unmute yourself. Yes, Ranjani ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ram, and thank you, Vijay ji, as usual. It was a wonderful session. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience. After talking to Madhu sometime in March, she told me to give it a try for 40 days because I was going through some health problems with diabetes and blood pressure. And when I recently did my blood report, the 3 months HbA1c, I've seen a little bit of decrease by 1.5 points, which is definitely a big step for me. I don't want to go with the specific numbers, but I have seen a reduction in the numbers, and same with the blood pressure also. And I did it seriously only for 40 days, both morning and evening. Then I was suffering with pollen allergies, so I couldn't continue after that because I was very stuffed up and I couldn't sleep at night, so I couldn't wake up. But after the 40 days, and the test was taken 2 weeks back. So within the 90-day period, I've done only for 40 days and I've already seen a big improvement. So people, and I've not made any diet changes as such, although Vijay ji has suggested some good programs. I have not yet given it a try. With whatever I was eating, good and bad, so far I have continued that path. And just with meditation, I have seen good improvement. So for people who are starting new or coming into this program, I think this is a very good chance. Like Ram said, you should utilize it to be more sincere with your practice, and this will definitely help you with the health related issues in addition to becoming spiritual and gaining other parts from this. I think health is something you can get better with this technique, simple technique of observing the breath and doing it regularly. So this was my improvement, and I would recommend it to whoever I talk to. I've been doing it and I will continue to do so. And thanks to all the people who have been keeping this effort going morning and evening without a break, and even adding more programs now. Of late, I see more and more on the weekends. There is not much time, but people who have time, I think it is a great initiative that you are spending your own personal time to do all this for the benefit of others. My sincere thanks to Ram, Madhu, and all the other masters who are contributing their own time. Thanks a lot and keep going, and I wish you the best.
Thank you very much, Ranjani ji. As you have mentioned that just by doing meditation twice a day for about 40 days, you have experienced some significant benefits about the numbers. Now, as we always say that meditation slows down our breathing, and that's the main key. By slowing down our breathing, by retaining more carbon dioxide in our bloodstream, and then exhaling carbon dioxide more when we exhale, that actually produces some kind of miracles in our health. It's a very simple technique. And when I was reading something about the Tibetan people, and they are actually, they live on the mountains where the level of oxygen is very low compared to the ground level. But one thing they were doing, or they are still doing, is since childhood, they actually train their children to meditate. And as you also know that the sages or the yogis or rishis of ancient India, they used to actually go on the mountains, in the caves up there, and meditate there, and still they never suffer the lower level of oxygen. All these kinds of health benefits can be achieved just by meditation, by focusing on a singular point or our breathing that slows down our breathing. And without us knowing, it gives us so much health benefit. Anybody else wants to share their experience or wisdom?
Thank you, Vijayji. I'm Indira here.
Right.
Thank you, Ram. Vijayji, it's always a pleasure to join your meditation and the knowledge sharing. It's you give all the scientific evidence and all the new knowledge to us, which adds us and makes us interesting. Sorry. I am in this path of meditations past 1.5 years. And apart from health benefits, my journey is amazing. I mean, initially, I just thought I'll experience what's meditation, because always I was interested. But once I've started, me and my husband, we have never stopped it. So one thing I have learned through this meditation is just whenever I'm anxious or whatever happens in my life, any like worsening situations or like parental health conditions, any of this, when I'm emotionally unstable, and it just go back to myself, like Ram says, all is well. So I take that theory, and then things really fall in place as well. Second thing, recently in my meditation, I got one thought that never be pre-judgmental, because I mean, I'll explain one situation. Like, whenever we have got some friends, and that, like, some people are take advantage, and but right now I feel like, no, it's everyone is changing, and everyone keeps changing in their journey. So don't go with the past experiences, and this experience with this incidents, or like, with that person is a new thing. And without prejudgment, if I'm looking at that, the incidents or the things are more clearer, and I'm feeling actually very happy with myself as well. So, and after this journey, I mean, I work as a GP, and I'm doing gardening, and I look after family. So I could do so many things, and I don't feel tired or stressed. And one more thing I want to share is we eat meat, but I stopped since my meditation. And my son does gym, and he's was like, very like calculative and protein and all those stuff. But now he suddenly comes to me and tells, like, no, I don't want to eat meat. And he did not say that it is because of meditation, but I feel this is all because of the environment, and he's looking at us. So I mean, I thank Beam family, because apart from meditation, the information and knowledge sharing, and looking at others, it's just inspiring. So thank you, Madhuram, and thank you, Vijayji. Honestly, thank you.
Thank you very much, Indiraji. Since you mentioned about the meat eating or non-veg diet, when someone meditates without any effort, you will not, or you will stop eating meat. The reason behind that, when you go within, and automatically your inner self starts realizing that everything is one. And the bottom line is very simple, like Vyas Muni or Maharshi Vedvyas, as we know him, who had compiled Gita and Mahabharata and other scriptures as well. In Mahabharata, he just mentioned one verse. So how one should behave. And he simply says, treat everybody you want to be treated by themselves. So that is the bottom line, that do not harm anything or anyone. And when we actually go deep within, our inner self realizes that everything is one and everything is without second. So there's only one thing, and that's the pure consciousness and the above, the absolute, and that is us, that is you, that is I, that is everyone. And then it affects our habits, and gradually we actually stop doing harm to the other living organism, especially those organisms which we can feel their expressions. There are viruses and bacteria, but we cannot see them, we cannot feel their feelings, we cannot actually see their expressions or feel their expressions. But for the animals, the birds or animals, we all believe that everything has expressions and feelings of pain and pleasure. So the oneness, as we travel towards the oneness, this thing happens, like we stop eating meat, or we stop actually creating or producing any harm to any organism. Thank you very much for sharing your experience.
Thanks for that, Indraji. Very inspiring to hear your journey as well, and the changes that you are witnessing. So, masters, please come forward. Please share anything that you share is just helping everyone who is listening. So, please come forward. You can unmute yourself.
Can I ask one question, Vijayji?
Okay.
Yeah, regarding Anulom Vilom Pranayama, you said we have to inhale from alternate nostrils and hold the breath. So, is there any proportion like 1:2 or anything like that, or is it just like how much we can hold? And
Initially, if we can keep the counts same, like for example, inhaling for 5 seconds, then retaining or holding for 5 seconds, then exhaling for another 5 seconds, and then suspending for another 5 seconds. Suspending means when we breathe out, then we do not start breathing instantly. We have to stop breathing for the same time. So if we keep the counts same initially, and gradually you can increase the inhaling and then retaining, exhaling, and suspending. So in breathing, there are these 4 steps: inhale, retain, exhale, and then suspend. People also, some doctors or some scientists, they say the 4-7-8 technique, which is inhaling for 4 seconds, retaining for 7 seconds, and exhaling for 8 seconds. But the another important factor is to suspend the breath. So do not breathe for the similar counts. It is entirely up to you after practicing, as long and as long as you can inhale slowly, retain longer, also exhale slowly, and suspend longer, it is beneficial. And as we know that normally, when you ask any astrologer, they would say that fine, you will live up to the age of 60, 70, 80, 90, whatever. Sometimes some astrologers in South India I experienced, I mean, they are so good, some in some aspects. They would even say that somebody will die on this particular day, 75 years and 3 months and 9 days, whatever. But Ayurveda says that it's the breaths we take in and it's the breaths we breathe out. That's how our life depends on breathing. So breathing less simply means living longer. And this is not just to actually live longer, but by breathing less, it also gives us so much health benefit physically and psychologically. So initially you can start with 5 seconds each, and then if you can do that, then just also increase. There is no such ratio or proportion for inhaling, retaining, exhaling, and suspending. And that is why we always say in the similar manners with the same counts, same time. But the idea is to prolong the breathing technique or exercise. Yeah.
thank you, Vijayji.
Yeah. Now, Ramesh, if you can conclude if you want to.
Yeah, Vijayji. So thanks a lot for this wonderful Monday meditation, and with this open sharing of everyone's journey. It's always inspiring to listen to one's inner journey because pretty much we notice the similarities.
Yes.
This is more inspiring and motivating to everyone. So I really thank you for bringing up this chance to share, and also all the masters who have shared. And and yes, we need to continuously remind ourselves of how our journey is going, because it is always, it helps even the person who is sharing, because we are looking and contemplating on our own improvement. So that inspires the one who is sharing, and then to everyone who is listening. So thank you again. And Vijayji, if you allow, then we shall end
Yeah,
today's.
that's fine. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Masters. And we meet then tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Germany time. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful evening or wonderful day, as per from where you are joining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.